Nice. His dad would charge his kids anytime they left something out, like dirty clothes in the floor, shoes in the hallway, dishes in the sink, backpack on the stairs. Every single time they had to pay him their own money. You see, his kids had gotten an allowance when they were younger, and then when they were old enough, they both had weekend jobs, so they had money to pay whenever this happened. Every time they had to give him money, he would write it down in a notebook. The kids thought it was ridiculous. The dad thought he was running a business. For years, they complained about this. Complained about how much money he had taken from them. Then, on the day each of them graduated high school, the dad handed them an envelope. Inside of each of their envelopes was every single dollar he had ever charged them, along with a handwritten list showing exactly what every fine was for. And at the bottom of that list was another note. It said, interest. He had been adding extra money on top of everything they paid him. The dad smiled and said, I never wanted your money, kids. I just wanted you to stop leaving your junk all over my house. And I figured this would be a nice, fun way to help get your adult life started. The kids cried. They said that they spent years thinking about how strict their dad was, only to realize he'd been saving every single penny for them, and adding a lot more of his own money to it as well. That's amazing. This is insane. My kid goes to a friend's house for dinner. They're sitting down. It's spaghetti night. Okay, we know the rules, everyone. We must say what we're thankful for. They're all sitting down, the food's in front of them. This kid assumes that they each say one thing and then move on to eat. But the mom then says this, before each and every bite. Wait, before each bite? Yeah, it builds gratitude. So the plates are steaming, nobody's eating yet, and it gets to the dad first. I'm thankful for my family. Then it moves to this kid's friend. I'm thankful for spaghetti. And then it gets to this kid. Go on. I'm thankful for math class. That's good. It keeps going, bite after bite after bite. By round 6, this kid is losing it. I'm thankful for forks and gravity and oxygen. Hey, don't get smart. Dinner takes 2 hours, and this kid decides to leave. And as he's walking out, he whispers to himself, I'm thankful I'm never coming back here again. Yeah, no kidding. There was a kid at this school that got famous for designing lockers. Every weekend, he would go to Five Below, Dollar Tree, or Walmart. He would buy tiny mirrors, magnetic shelves, fake plants, LED light strips, mini rugs, wallpaper, anything that would look cool in a locker. Then his classmates would hire him to completely redesign the inside of their locker. Before he touched anything, he had a series of questions. Do you want modern or a vintage look? You like sports? You want it minimalist? You have a favorite comic book character? What's your favorite color? He would then sketch the layout first in a notebook. Then, that night, he would go through all the stuff that he would have from Five Below, Dollar Tree, Walmart, and he would get together what he needed. Now, he only worked on the weekends. You see, his mom worked at the school, and there were events that would happen at the school during the weekends, so he was allowed to go in. And that's when he would design their locker. By Monday, the kids would come in, go to their locker, and it was completely redone. Beautiful. It wasn't free at all. You had to pay him money, 20, sometimes 50 bucks, depending on what you wanted. This business was so respected and well known, some parents would even contact him to surprise their kids with a redesigned locker. One year, the school held a best decorated locker contest, and he didn't enter, but out of the top 10 lockers, he designed 8 of them. What a legend! You gotta respect the hustle. He was a kid, his mom dragged him to the nearest 7-Eleven. I don't wanna go. Well, that's too bad. Well, they get there, she goes in the store, but he waits outside. He then sees this older, strange-looking guy sitting against a wall. Hey, want to see something cool? And he's a kid, so he said yes. Of course he wants to see something cool, which you should never do. The man then smiles, and then pulls off a prosthetic leg and showed this kid his leg stump. Look at this. The leg stump had a very weird smiley face drawn on it in Sharpie. The kid absolutely freaks out. That's not cool. The man then panics because I guess he had good intentions. Oh, no, wait, look, it's actually cool, look. The kid's now ugly crying, the mom runs out of the store. What's going on? His leg. The man's embarrassed, the mom's freaking out at him. I don't know why he showed the kid his leg stump anyway, but she went home with her kid. And years later, when he sees a 7-Eleven, he freaks out a little bit still. He bullied the wrong kid. This bully started messing with one of the smaller kids by the lockers one day, talking trash and getting in into his face. Nice hair, ginger boy. Trying to get a reaction, but the smaller kid ignored him. What, you got nothing to say? Then, out of nowhere, the smaller kid grabs the combination lock that's hanging off his locker, and he swings it across the bully's face. This kid's kind of bleeding a bit, he's crying, teacher comes running, but the smaller kid skipped off the class, and for some reason he did not get in trouble for this. Well, his next class was woodshop. After the bully got himself all cleaned up, he started to get mad again. Yeah, he got a cheap shot on me. I'm gonna find him. Oh, I'm gonna get him back. The bully then goes to this kid's woodshop class, and he walks in. He sees the small kid in the back corner working. Now, the small kid is working with 2x4s, planks of wood. Why the bully thought it would be a good idea to mess with him again, I don't know, but he does. Hey, you're freaking dead! Without reacting much, you guessed it, smacks him right across the face with a plank of wood. Kid freaks out again, starts crying. He's bleeding again. This time, they both get sent to the office, but the woodshop class had a ton of people say that this bully went to attack the small kid first. And if the small kid didn't defend himself, well, it would have been bad for him. The bully got expelled. Careful who you mess with. Bada bing, bada boom. This teacher and this one kid argued every single day, constantly butting heads. Johnson, look at me. No, you look at me. It's one of those things where every single class, kids are just waiting for some crazy stuff to go down between these two. Well, one afternoon, this teacher is fed up with this kid and says, Johnson, if you keep talking, we're gonna have a problem. No, we're not. Yeah, we are. If you keep talking, I'm gonna call your mother. The kid just goes, do it. The teacher goes, oh, I will. My mom's gonna agree with me anyway. The teacher didn't like him talking back. You know what? Just go to the office right now. Go right now. Leave my classroom. Okay. He walks out of the classroom for 1 second, and then he comes back in. You know what? I'm gonna call my mom for you. He dials. It's on speakerphone. It's ringing, and his mom picks up. Hey, Mom. My teacher wants to talk to you. Teacher was panicked. Didn't know what to do. Oh, the entire class is laughing. Here, I'm gonna hand you over to her. She takes the phone, and she hangs up. Kid was still sent to the office, but she kinda looked like a joke after that. This girl goes to a sleepover at her friend's house. She's about 10 years old, and everything is normal. It's a nice house, it's a nice family. Nothing weird, but then bedtime rolls around, and that's when she notices something. You see, her friend has 5 brothers, and all 5 of them share one giant room. She walks past. It's filled with bunk beds. No decorations at all. No posters, nothing like that. It looks like a frickin' barracks. Then the mom starts getting everybody ready for bed. And apparently the boys had a nightly routine. All right, boys, line up. All 5 brothers line up. And she starts inspecting them one by one. Shirts tucked in? Good. Jeans on? Good. Belt fastened? Good. You all look very dapper. Now go to bed. And sends them off to bed. She asks her friend, do they do this every night? Her friend's like, yeah, every night. And just think about how weird that is. No pajamas. In fact, the mom is making them wear a t-shirt, jeans, and a belt to sleep. And then she notices something in there. Each of those bunk beds doesn't have a blanket on it. And the brothers acted like it was completely normal. Now you see, alarm bells are going off in my brain. Someone should probably call DCFS, because that sounds sus. Every winter, this one patch of ice formed outside the side entrance of the school, and nobody ever salted it. And kids figured out something fast. If you hit it at full speed and land just right, you'll just keep on sliding. It was this long stretch that if executed properly, kids could just slide for what seemed like ever. Groups of people were doing it every morning. Yo! A pile of backpacks here and a line of kids here. It wasn't easy. Some kids wiped out. Some kids went pretty far. Where one kid showed up, he took it way too seriously. Before and after school, he shows up with 2 of his biggest buddies. And if somebody wanted to slide on this ice, they had to give him something. What you got? Well, you're in my math class. I'll give you the answer to tomorrow's homework. Deal. He would then let them go and mark down how far they went. 15 feet, 18 feet, 25 feet. Now everyone's showing up with offerings to get in line to try to beat the best record. This kid's getting tons of snacks, homework answers, random items. That's when one angry janitor sees what's going on and he's like, oh, I can't have this. So every morning he begins salting it. That forgotten ice patch was no more. But for that time, it was awesome. These 2 sisters begged for a dog. Please, please, Dad. The dad would always say, you girls are not responsible enough. Well, years go by, and after years of pleading, the dad finally caves in a little bit. He compromised and brought home a pot-belly pig. Oh my God, a piggy! They named her Sonic because she would sprint around the house like lightning. And for a while, Sonic was family. She would nap underneath the dining room table, roll over for belly rubs. She would even let the family rest their feet on her like she was a footrest. Well, Sonic didn't stay small. Within months, she grew into a 4-foot pig that lived in the patio. Well, then came the house renovations that were supposed to be done. The dad said the workers were gonna be there all the time and there was nowhere for Sonic to stay. She's gotta go somewhere, she can't stay here. Well, honey, we have to figure this out. We can't just let her go. They begged. The mom looked around and she found a country club that was willing to house her temporarily while the renovations were getting done. But the dad said no. Weeks later, the mom and the daughters flew to Sydney, Australia to visit some family. One night, the phone rang. And it was the dad. So nobody agreed to take Sonic. Okay, I'll make some more calls. Don't bother, I put her down. She's gone. It's for the best, okay? Have fun. What? The three of them just sat there in silence. They were stunned. Your dad killed Sonic. What? No. They were absolutely devastated. That dad is the absolute worst. And rest in peace. This kid was very quiet in school, so the bully thought he would be an easy target. On one Monday, the bully put a fake spider on this kid's notebook, expecting him to freak out. He's gonna freak out. But the kid sat down, saw it, and got excited instead. Oh, cool, a spider! Oh man, it's fake! On Wednesday, the bully put a bunch of paper shreddings in this kid's locker, expecting him to get mad that it was so inconvenient. This'll be so inconvenient for him. But no, he started playing in it with his friends. Oh, come on guys, look at this! It's raining paper! On Thursday, the bully dumped a bucket of water on him. Oh, thank you so much, man. It's a hot one today. After that, the bully just stood there. He didn't know what to do anymore. He turned around, walked away, and he never messed with that kid again. Because no matter what he did, the kid had the time of his life. It's a sleepover at his friend's house. They're sitting down talking when somebody mentions a microwave. I almost microwaved my fork. That would have been crazy. Why would that be crazy? Everyone's like, you can't microwave metal, man. You didn't know that? No, and I've never tried. They explain to him that it's bad to microwave metal, like fire hazard bad. Well, they all go to sleep, and this kid's laying there. He can't stop thinking about it. Metal microwave. Microwave metal, metal microwave metal. Metal, metal microwave milk metal. He just can't let it go. Staring at the ceiling, he decides, I need to find out for myself. So he goes into the kitchen of his friend's house, opens the silverware drawer, grabs a handful of forks, knives, and spoons, puts it in the microwave, and presses start. For the first 3 seconds, nothing happens. But then, crackling, sparks, a flash bright as the sun, and then flames. The microwave is now fully engulfed in flames, and the cabinets start on fire. Fire alarms are going off, everybody in the house wakes up and they go outside. The fire trucks arrive and they're putting this fire out. Luckily, it's not too bad. The kitchen was pretty messed up though, but the entire neighborhood was outside in their pajamas watching this thing happen. And obviously, they found out who did it. Bro, we just told you about metal in the microwave. I had to see it. And that, my friends, is nuts. At this school, snacks were allowed, but certain snacks were banned, like hot Cheetos, Takis, and anything sour. And the school wasn't joking about this either. If you got caught with them, that was a detention immediately. Is this Sour Patch Kids? Yes? Detention! So them being this illegal made kids want them more. So one kid's sitting back looking at the situation. He's like, okay, so these snacks are basically illegal, but everybody wants them. And he commits. He goes to the store, and his bedroom becomes a storage. Boxes, drawers, bags, all full of these banned snacks. Every morning, he would grab a small handbag, nothing too crazy, and he would put a bunch of these snacks in there. He would then take it to school. And he's not selling openly. He's being very discreet about this. Between classes, quick handoffs, and it blows up. People are nervous buying them. Hey bro, let me get some Takis and sour gummies. Got you. Everybody's paranoid. So he makes it very clear. Every time he does a sale, he says this: if you're caught with this, that's on you. If you snitch, that's a whole different issue. And standing by him every single time is his best friend. Big buff dude. He never talked much. If you snitch, he'll find you and he'll get you. Yeah, and nobody snitched. For a while, one kid did, and he wasn't caught with candy or in the act of buying it. He snitched because he was petty. He was jealous of this kid's business and he wanted to shut it down himself, so he did. And there was a huge investigation launched, and that kid who started this business was expelled. That's too much. It's testing week at this one middle school. Normally, kids have the Chromebooks open all day during class, or they're using the school iPads. And as you can imagine, the kids have TikTok tabs open, they're playing games, YouTube is paused somewhere. Well, this week, the teacher says, no Chromebooks or iPads all week this week. The kids are like, what? She then says, we're just gonna be watching movies. Now, when I was in school, that would be the best thing you could hear. There'd be cheering. But this room goes tense. So we're just gonna sit here and stare at nothing? Miss, we're gonna be so bored. This is stupid. Yeah, this is actually messed up. They then start calling the teacher horrible names. You're a frickin' loser, idiot. Piece of crap. Yeah, I hope you die. It escalates and escalates. One kid flips a desk. Enough! The teacher then grabs the school police liaison. He comes in and shuts this entire debauchery down. Every student in that class gets into big trouble because what the heck is the matter with them? Are kids really that obsessed with the screens these days? Maybe I'm old. Like I said, all I know, movie days when I was in school, it's 2 weeks till senior graduation. That kid decides he's gonna pull a prank that nobody will ever forget. Most senior pranks involve balloons, sticky notes, baby oil. Well, this dude somehow gets his hands on an actual beehive. It was in my backyard. I put it in the trash bag. And his genius plan is to bring it to school and release it. Okay, well, that's actually so dangerous. I'm trying to figure out what the punchline's supposed to be here. Kid with a bee allergy having to be taken to the hospital? Who knows? He ties up the garbage bag that the beehive's in and he throws it over his shoulder. And he gets on the bus, mister. He's thrown on the bus, everything's fine at first. Then a kid noticed a bee. Oh God, there's a bee in here. Then there was another one. Oh God, there's another bee in here. Then another, then another, then another. The senior kid is like, oh my God. The bees had buzzed their way through this garbage bag, and now the beehive is open. The next 30 seconds were complete and utter craziness. Kids screaming, people hiding underneath the bus seats, but everybody was getting stung. And yes, there were kids in the bus that were allergic to bees, and yes, they had to go to the hospital. The funny part is, when the bus driver first noticed all these bees, he put the bus in park and left the bus. Ah! But then he realized he's in charge of these kids. I gotta go back. Ah! And he drives the bus to a nearby hospital, and they take it from there. But they found out who brought the beehive in, and he wasn't able to graduate. But that makes sense, because what a dumb prank. In 7th grade, this kid realized that Pokemon cards were frickin' currency. His older brother handed him a shoebox full one day. Hey bro, you can have these. Hey, thanks Johnny. And they were great cards. There was EXs, GXs, full arts, super rare cards in there. And at first he brought them to school to show them off. But then someone offered him $15 for that one. Okay, thanks, here you go. And that's when it clicked. He built out a binder, he set prices for specific cards, and he started dropping little hints around the hallways. This full art right here is only available today at lunch. After that, it's off the table forever. And that created urgency, because kids were like, oh my gosh, I want that card, I can only get it today. And suddenly, kids were lining up by his lunch table. It was kind of epic. He would also sell in the hallways, in the bathrooms. Between periods, it was just him. He didn't have a business partner. And teachers were seeing this like, oh, how cute. He's making a little pocket change selling his cute little cards. But no. By the end of that year, he pulled in more than $3,400. And that is a business mindset. You gotta respect the hustle. On the first day of class, this teacher walked in and wrote his name on the board. Mr. Stevenson. He told everyone to open their textbooks. And that was his entire teaching method. That entire class, he made the students copy, word for word, everything that was in chapter 1. Well, students started asking questions. Why did the Roman Empire fall, Mr. Stevenson? He would just say, it should tell you in your textbook. Who won the War of 1812? It should tell you in your textbook. Well, what year did World War II end? That's not in the chapter, but the textbook should tell you. Shortly after that, the principal walked in. Excuse me, who are you? I'm Mr. Stevenson. Sir, you don't work here. I was coming in because the sub never showed up. Mr. Stevenson wasn't a teacher the school hired. Mr. Stevenson was just some random guy that showed up to that school that day, walked into that classroom, and pretended to teach the class. The police did come, and he did get a fine. That's insane! Senior year, somebody pulled the most evil school prank anyone has ever seen. It started during first period in math class. Dead quiet, the teachers were writing notes on the board, and out of nowhere, faintly, you heard Baby Shark Song. What is that? The whole class looks up, the teacher stops writing. Whoever's playing that, turn it off! Then the music cuts off and everyone's confused for a second. Then 10 minutes later it happens again, but it's louder this time. Yo, what's going on? This time, it wouldn't stop. The song was on repeat. People are laughing, the teachers are losing their minds, and the staff is looking for where this is coming from. Nobody could find it. And then a little bit later, it gets worse. The song is playing everywhere. It's obviously coming from multiple different speakers. In the science room, in the bathrooms, above the cafeteria, and every single speaker is synced together. And it disrupts the entire school day because kids can't focus, teachers can't teach. Every time they find one speaker, the other ones get louder. Apparently, the seniors had hidden these Bluetooth speakers in ceiling tiles, nooks, crannies behind lockers. There was even one in the trophy case. It took almost 3 full hours to find each and every one of them. Let's just say every single student and teacher in that school had Baby Shark stuck in their head for at least a month after that. That, my friends, is genius. There was a kid at recess who became the official referee. It started because these two groups of friends got into a huge argument about if somebody was out during their kickball game. Nobody trusted either team, so they asked this one kid to decide. Yeah, I was watching. He was definitely out. Both teams accepted it. Well, he started a little business. Pretty soon, if you wanted to play football, kickball, capture the flag, or even some completely made-up random game, you would ask this kid to referee. If it was a new game, the teams had to explain to him, okay, so if the potato goes into the hole, you lose, but if you miss, it's a point? A lot of times it didn't make sense, but he took what he got, and he reffed the game. And once the games would begin, his word was final. He made the calls. Now, in order to get this kid to ref your game, you would have to give him something. He didn't accept money. He didn't care about it. He wanted goods, snacks, drinks, cool items. He even wore a cool black and white striped shirt with a whistle. And everyone thought he was a legend. And that is because he is. You gotta respect the hustle. This kid went over to his buddy's house one day after school, and his buddy lived way out in the country. Yeah, man, this is my house. Oh, I like it. Big property, bunch of cows. They walk inside. Come on, pal, I want you to meet my parents. Okay. So he follows him into the living room. His friend's mom is sitting on the couch. His dad's in a very big reclining chair. Then he looks over at the other couch. Hi, nice to meet you. What? There's a full-grown cow just laying there. Looks like it's watching TV as well. Who's that? Who's what? The cow. Oh, yeah, that's Betsy. Apparently, the family raised that cow from it was a little baby. It had wandered in the house one day, jumped on the couch, and just hung out with them. So they kept letting Betsy do that. And nobody in that family thought it was weird. It was normal to them. They acted like having a 1,000-pound cow in their living room was as normal as having a golden retriever. That night, him, his friend's parents, and Betsy watched TV together. And he said, Betsy was really nice. It's a Saturday afternoon. This mom's at the park with her 2 kids when her neighbor drives up. Hi, can you watch my kids for just like 10 minutes? I have to run to the grocery store. Yeah, sure, just 10 minutes, right? Yes, 10 minutes tops, and I'll come pick them up right back here. Well, 10 minutes turn into 2 hours. They're at the park still. Her kids and her neighbor's kids exhausted. Everybody wants to go home. No sign of the mom. No texts, nothing. She's not answering her calls. Hold on, kids. I'm just trying to get a hold of your mom. She's not picking up. Come on. Well, now it's getting dark, and they can't just keep staying at the park. So she takes her kids and her neighbor's kids in her car, and she drives to the neighbor's house. She pulls up in the neighbor's driveway, and there's her neighbor's car, parked. What the heck? The lights are on inside the house. She grabs the kids, goes up to the front door, and knocks. The neighbor opens the door, holding a bag of popcorn, and the TV was on. Oh, thanks for bringing them back. Have a great day. Come on, kids. What the heck? No thank you, no apology, just shuts the door. And that's when the mom realized her neighbor never had to go to the store. She just wanted time off from her kids. That's messed up. It was week 2 at summer camp. One kid realized the lake wasn't just for swimming. It was for business. He dragged a canoe down to the dock, and instead of just paddling around, he offered rides. And these weren't just regular canoe rides. He called them customized canoe experiences. The first customer was a kid trying to impress his crush. The canoe kid cleans the canoe, he pulls out a Bluetooth speaker, puts on love songs, throws down blankets as seat cushions, and hands them a pack of Twizzlers. Boom, $10 romantic canoe ride. This is nice. I like canoes. The next ride was a totally different vibe. 2 kids wanted to skip rocks in the middle of the lake. The canoe kid plays rap music and brings a bunch of flat rocks in a bucket. He takes them out there and lets them go wild. Boom, $10. Soon he's offering packages. There was the silence special for the kids that were fed up with their bunk mates. Soft music, calm paddling, and no talking for 20 minutes. It was like a meditation on the lake. And these customized experiences were spreading like wildfire. Everybody wanted to get a trip on this magical canoe. And by the end of camp, he made a pretty decent chunk of money, and the kids loved the service he provided. So, yeah, you gotta respect the hustle. They plotted this for weeks. For about 2 weeks, this small group of students would take the lunchroom food and shove it in their backpacks to save for later. You know, mashed potatoes, hot dogs, milk cartons, pizza, chicken tenders, you know. They would bring it home and put it in the fridge. They're stockpiling cafeteria food. Then, one night, they broke into the school. They snuck into the principal's office, and one by one they swapped everything out on her desk. But they were swapping her stuff out with the cafeteria food that they had been saving. They took her stapler and replaced it with a scoop of mashed potatoes. Her landline phone they replaced with 5 hot dogs. They filled her coffee mug with shredded chicken, and they replaced all of her pens with straws. All the leftover food they put on her desk chair. The next morning, the principal stared at this all in disbelief. What in God's name happened in here? And it was as easy as checking the security cameras. Those kids were caught almost immediately, but still, that's actually kind of hilarious. His parents were at the sleepover. It's Friday night, sleepover at his buddy Jonah's house. First hour solid. Pizza, soda, Mario Kart, chillin'. But then, hey boys, we have next round, okay? This is gonna be great. It's Jonah's mom and dad. They join him and they play 4 rounds. Oh, this is kind of weird, man. Oh, it's fine. Later, they go for a bike ride. Let's go, bro. All right, see you, mom and dad, we're heading out. But then Jonah's mom and dad come out on their own bikes. I'll lead the way. I'll be in the back for safety. What the heck? Biking in formation. Back inside, it's movie time. They're watching The Sandlot. Jonah's mom walks in with a pillow. Oh, I love this one. Scoot over. The dad's laying on the floor. They stay for the entire movie and the dad's crying at the end. Now that's a classic. Now that's a classic. Then it's time for bed. Sleeping bags on the floor, lights off, and then suddenly, zip! Jonah's parents lay out their own sleeping bags and they join them. Good night, boys. I had a lot of fun today. I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight. He doesn't sleep, he just stares at the ceiling listening to Jonah's dad snore, counting down the hours till morning. Worst sleepover ever, and he never went back. This kid got a summer job at a golf course when he was 13 years old. I'm 13, I work at a golf course. His whole job was simple. When golfers finished their round, they would drop off their golf carts. He would hose it down, then they would get the golf carts and take it away. After a couple of weeks, his bosses trusted him with the golf carts, even to drive him sometimes. Then one afternoon, he's taking this really nice golf cart back to the clubhouse. Well, there's a pond between him and the cart barn. Cuts the corner a little too tight. One tire slips off the path. He jerks the wheel. The whole cart is sliding. He's hitting the brake, but nothing's happening. I'm hitting the brake. Nothing's happening. And then splash. Him and the golf cart in the pond. He jumps out just before this thing sinks. Now he's standing there soaking wet, staring at what he just did, and he's terrified. But wait till he finds out whose golf cart that was. Club manager comes running over after hearing the ruckus. What happened over here? Please tell me that wasn't cart 12. That was cart 12. Turns out that was the mayor's brand new golf cart that he was keeping there at the club, and now it was sitting at the bottom of a pond. The mayor comes out. Hey, is that my cart in the water? I want him fired. What? Listen, I'm sorry, kid, but you're fired. I mean, yeah, I guess that does make a little sense. He slept through every single math class. The teacher talking, he was asleep. Putting notes up on the board, dude was knocked out. Everybody got used to seeing him face down on his desk. Well, one day the teacher was absolutely sick of this. I'm absolutely sick of this. One morning, the teacher stopped in the middle of the class and he wrote a complicated problem on the board. He then told the person sitting next to this kid, "Hey, Billiards, wake him up." They wake up, man. The teacher then says this. Since you've been paying attention so closely all class, solve this problem for me. You have 4 minutes. The whole class is waiting for this kid to get embarrassed. He immediately walks up to the board. He's still exhausted. He takes the marker. He begins writing. 3 seconds later, he says, "Done." The teacher's like, "Yeah, no way. Let's see." It was perfect. The kid sits back down and puts his head right back on the desk. A few days later, the teacher tries again. "Wake him up. I got a really hard one this time." Bro, 273.67. That's correct. it becomes a thing. He tried a few more times before he just stopped bothering him. Just let him sleep throughout every single class because he always got A's on the test and he always did his homework. So why can't the kid sleep? Yeah, this kid came back from summer break like 4 inches taller. Hey, what's up, guys? And everybody noticed immediately. Bro, what happened to you? Yeah, you're like tall now. Then he just says, growth spurt. The thing is, he had been the short kid forever. So now he's walking different, he's feeling different. He's standing straighter, he's talking in class, making jokes. People are complimenting him constantly. And he's popular now. But then a few months later, it's gym class. Everyone's playing kickball outside. And this kid is taking it seriously. He's talking trash. Nice shot, idiot. What's up? I'm gonna win. Well, he's up, and the ball gets rolled towards him. He takes one big kick, and his shoe flies off. Oh no. Now, that's not a big deal, but then he had to go get his shoe. At first, everyone's like laughing, like, your shoe fell off, no big deal. But as he begins to walk towards his shoe, they notice that he's limping. Yo, bro, why are you limping? You good? Yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry. I'll get my shoe. Wait, hold on. What the heck? Everyone runs over. They pin this dude down in the grass and they pull his other shoe off. Let me see this other shoe. What? Inside his shoes are these giant 4-inch height inserts, like full elevator platforms. These were the things that were making him taller. I can explain. Yeah, so can we. You're a loser. And the rest of the year after that, kids were brutal to him. Kind of feel bad, but you guys, doesn't matter how short or tall you are, just rock it. Hey, Johnny, come to the bonfire next week. Awesome. Johnny was invited to one of the popular kids' bonfires, and this was a big moment for him. He was hyped. He decided he wanted to be the bonfire guitar guy. You know, the guy that would sit by the fire and play songs and everyone tells him how cool he is. So he buys a guitar with money from his first job. He spends that entire week practicing. Okay. Huh. Not too bad. They're gonna love this. Fingers shredding, watching tutorials. He's pretty decent. Kind of a natural. And finally, it's the big bonfire night. Like 20 kids there. They're all sitting around. Johnny brought his guitar. He sees his opportunity. Hey, you guys mind if I play a song for you? All right, man. Yeah, go for it. Okay, Johnny. Yeah, play us a song. So he starts playing and he's actually killing it. Whoa, he's pretty good. Yeah, he is. People are impressed. Then he gets a little too confident. Starts going a little crazier. Fully dramatic rock star mode when all of a sudden, snap! One of the strings breaks and flies up and whips him right in the eye. And in a pure moment of panic, he just throws the guitar off him. Everyone goes silent. Johnny gets his composure. He realizes there's way too many people here for him to be freaking out. He's gonna look like a loser. But when he opens his eyes, he realizes he threw his guitar into the bonfire. And now the guitar is burning like firewood. No one said a word for about 30 minutes. They just sat around that fire warming themselves up with Johnny's guitar he bought to impress everybody. He never lived that down, and he wasted $200 on that guitar. That's nuts.
So it's midnight on a Friday, and 2 friends, Ryan and Caleb, they sneaked out to get Taco Bell. So they grab the car keys off the kitchen counter. We'll bring the car back before anybody notices. Heck yeah, dude, this is so awesome. They get in the car and they take off, windows down, music blasting. They're laughing, having the time of their life, when the car begins to make a little puttering noise. Dude, what's that noise? Oh, it's nothing, bro. Don't even worry about it. But it wasn't nothing. The car begins to slow down and then it stops completely. Oh, crap, we're out of gas. Dude, are you serious? Yeah, but look, there's a gas station right there. We'll just push the car, we'll be fine. So they put the car in neutral, put the car's hazards on, and they push the car up to this gas station. Oh, we did it. Perfect. Oh crap, I don't have my wallet. Can you put some gas in? Yeah, I don't have my wallet either. What? Do you have Apple Pay? No, they didn't even have any frickin' money. Even if they made it to Taco Bell, they wouldn't have been able to buy anything anyway. That's insane. So they put the car back in neutral and they started pushing. 1 mile, then 2. A cop car passes once. Oh, but it doesn't stop. By the time they rolled it back into the driveway, the sun was beginning to rise. They're drenched in sweat, they're dead silent, and they get inside. Thankfully, everybody is still asleep. Bro, dude, that was insane. And the crazy part is, I'm still freaking hungry, man. That's crazy.
So it's this kid's birthday party. And his mom lets her sister, his aunt, make the cake since she's a baker. Well, everyone gathers around and the aunt brings out the cake. Well, the lid comes off and it says, "Happy birthday, Kyle and Jason." Kyle's the birthday kid. Jason isn't. Jason is his aunt's son, his cousin. The mom's like, "Are you serious? Why is your kid's name on my son's cake?" And the aunt shrugs. "It's fine. They can share. They can blow out the candles together." "Absolutely not. This is his birthday, not your son's." So what happened was Kyle's cousin Jason was incredibly spoiled, and he couldn't stand to be at another kid's birthday party. He had to make it about him as well. Well, the two sisters start arguing in front of the entire party, and everybody is incredibly uncomfortable. It looks like they're about to start throwing hands, when finally Kyle's mom says, "You know what? Take your cake and your spoiled kid and leave my frickin' house." The aunt storms out with the cake, and 10 minutes later, the dad comes in with a cake from Walmart, and the birthday party was saved. But the mom still hasn't talked to her sister since then. For real though, who would think that's okay? It was supposed to be a normal middle school sleepover, but then things got crazy. It was 4 friends, they were all in 8th grade. They had the sleeping bags in the basement, Nerf guns, soda, the usual. They go upstairs, they're playing video games, but then one of the friends says this, "Yo, what's that behind the fence over there?" "Oh, that's my neighbor's hot tub. We should go in it." Oh. Wait a minute. They laughed it off at first, but 1:30 a.m. hits. The parents are asleep, and they went outside. "Are we really doing this? This is a bad idea, guys." "Shut your mouth, Ralphie." "Everyone chill out. We're going in." Next thing you know, all 4 of them are sitting in the neighbor's hot tub, snacking on Doritos, and someone's playing music from their phone. Okay, this is really nice. Pure relaxation, boys. Pure relaxation. All right, we should get out soon, guys. "Shut the hell up." Well, that's when, all of a sudden, the backyard floodlights go on. Oh my god, run. Yeah, there's 4 kids in my hot tub right now. Get out of here. The next morning, everybody's in the kitchen having breakfast. Everyone's worried about last night. Well, the doorbell rings. "Oh, I'll get that." Wait, no. "Hi, Mr. Johnson." "Hi, Carol. We should have a conversation." She found out everyone gets in big trouble, but that sleepover went down in history as one of the greatest of all time. He got punched on purpose, and his plan worked. In 7th grade, this one kid, Zach, had been dealing with this guy named Tyler for a while now, and Tyler was a piece of work. He was loud, annoying, and constantly trying to get a rise out of Zach. Well, the thing is, Zach never let it get to him. He never shouted back, he never did anything mean to him, he didn't fight, he just waited. Until one Friday at dismissal, Zach saw his way. He sees Tyler standing over there by a locker, and he decides to enact his plan. It's time. "Oh, hey, yo!" He walks by Tyler and softly and accidentally bumps him in the shoulder. "Yo, what is your deal?" Well, Tyler snaps, and all Zach does is stand there. "Say something." He doesn't, and that makes him very mad. He then winds up and punches Zach right in the face. "You know what, dude?" Well, Zach stumbles back, throws up his hands like he's gonna fight back, but then he just says, "Time out, time out." "Time out? Yeah, you just punched me in the face, man. I'm not gonna fight you back, though." Everyone's like, "Yo, what?" "Guys, I didn't hit him, right? Huh? Look, he hit me. I didn't hit him." Security rolls up, so does the principal. "No, he bumped into me. He was gonna fight me." "No, it's a crowded hallway. I didn't even touch you. You punched me." "What happened?" "We were fighting. Both of us." "What happened?" "He punched me. I never swung." Zach didn't do anything. Tyler did. They looked at the cameras, and everything checked out. Tyler was suspended for 3 days, and Zach got nothing. The next day, somebody asked Zach, "Yo, dude, was that your plan the entire time?" "What can I say? I played chess." And that was his way of getting back at his bully without lifting a finger. Genius. It was this kid's 3rd birthday party, and he did not care at all. So he was turning 3 and his parents went all out. Huge backyard party, like 50 people. Family, friends, cousins, neighbors, everybody was there. Everyone was eating cake, baby, playing games, presents stacked up. The kind of party parents throw because they know their kids are going to remember it forever. So that morning they gave this kid one of his gifts early. "Here, sweetie." It's a little plastic toy lawnmower. "Lawnmower, I like it." The kind that clicks when you push it, and he loves it instantly. He won't put it down, and they're thinking, Good, great, best gift ever. So the party starts, people show up, kids are running around, everyone's having a fantastic time. And meanwhile, the birthday boy isn't anywhere near everybody because he's in the front yard slowly mowing the lawn with his fake lawnmower. Just walking back and forth, pushing that little mower. He's completely locked in. And the party's happening in the backyard. Everyone's trying to get him involved. Like, hey, come on, buddy, come on, open some presents. Doesn't even respond, just keeps mowing the lawn. Hey, bud, it's your Uncle Joey. Come on, let's have some cake. Doesn't care. Eventually, people just start laughing because this entire time they're looking outside. This kid's just walking back and forth, mowing the lawn, could care less about his party. Then it comes time to sing happy birthday. They can't get him inside, so everyone else had to come out to the front yard and sing to him while he didn't listen and mowed the lawn instead. Actually, that's awesome.
At this one elementary school, all the teachers would split their classes into two groups, penguins and rats. And the teachers would use these groups for stuff like project, just to organize the students. All right, class, penguins line up here, rats line up here. But here's the thing. A rivalry between the penguins and the rats of the school began to grow. Big time. Penguins and rats started not sitting by each other at lunch. They would steal from each other. They stopped being friends with people because of this. Hey, Johnny. What? I hear you were a rat. Shut your mouth, penguin freak. That's it. Fistfights, brawls at recess, pushing kids off the monkey bars. There was a full-blown war between these two groups. It was absolutely out of control. And the school staff didn't know what to do, so they just canceled recess. And they said, no more groups, no more penguins, no more rats. This is done. Eventually, it all kind of stopped. There were moments where kids tried to start new groups. Tigers, snakes, bears, but nothing stuck. One kid tried to bring it back a year later. He was passing flyers around the school that just said, "Penguins rise again." But he got suspended for inciting violence. And nobody tried that ever again. That's absolutely insane.
Oh man, it's raining. Wait, one fall day, school gets let out and it just starts pouring rain. Sheets of rain drenching everybody running for the buses. Well, one kid looks around and instead of running to safety, he goes to the hill behind the school. He takes his backpack off and he dives straight down the muddy hill. Yo, look at Steven. They watch Steven shoot to the bottom of the hill. He's soaked, he's covered in mud, but he's laughing. He's having an amazing time. And just like that, a crowd forms and they join him. Yo, I'm next. And suddenly, half the school forgets about trying to stay dry in the rain. They all start to embrace it. They're lining up, one after the other, sliding down this muddy hill. Yo, this is so much fun. Right? People are covered in mud, their shoes are ruined, their clothes are just dirty, but for that one afternoon, nobody cared at all. It wasn't about looking cool or staying dry or getting home. It was just pouring rain, a muddy hill, and a ton of frickin' fun. And that's absolutely beautiful. This kid gets caught cheating on purpose. This happened last spring. There's this math teacher, right? She's super strict, but only to certain kids. Late homework, 0%. Wrong format, 0%. But if your parents were rich, if you were on varsity, if she just liked you, you were fine. And everybody knew it, but nobody could prove it. But then there's Noah. He was the top of his class. He literally had a spreadsheet to track his GPA. One day he wanted to prove that this teacher was a little biased. So during a quiz, he leans way over his desk and stares at the person next to his quiz. Like clearly cheating. Can I see? Teacher looks up, sees him doing this, but nothing. Completely ignores it. The next week, there's another quiz. Now Noah's friend Kyle, the teacher didn't like that much, so this was the other half of their plan. During that quiz, Kyle begins cheating off of somebody else, and he doesn't get very far. Office now. Not even 2 seconds into Kyle cheating, the teacher sees this and calls him out immediately. Kyle gets 2 days of in-school suspension. Noah, nothing. So their theory was proven. A few days after that, they go to the principal together and they explain to the principal the situation that's going on. And believe it or not, thank you for sharing this. I believe you guys. Yes, I'll have a talk with her. I promise. The teacher was out for a few days, but when she came back, she was a whole lot more fair. I bet that principal really gave her a talking to. Luke goes over to his friend Brad's house for the first time, and right away he can see that the family is pretty strange. This family's pretty strange. Nothing huge, just weird energy. The mom and dad are kinda weird, and the friend Brad keeps saying, hey, whatever you do, bro, do not sit in my dad's chair. Okay, I won't. They hang out all night playing video games, eating junk food, doing normal sleepover stuff. Eventually they go to bed. Then around like 2 in the morning, Luke wakes up to go to the bathroom. The house is completely dark and quiet. So he walks into the hallway half asleep. Then he hears something moving downstairs. Like scratching noises. So he looks down into the living room and he is shook. I'm shook. Because Brad's dad is crawling around on all fours. A full-grown man moving slowly around the carpet like a cat. But then it gets worse. The dad then jumps onto the chair, turned towards the family cat, and begins to lick the cat's head. He's grooming his cat. And the cat's just sitting there like, yep, this is normal. Luke said his brain just completely shut down. He ran out of that house, ran 2 blocks away, called his mom, and his mom came to pick him up. He never went to that house or talked to Luke ever again after that. Oh, that's insane. The lunch lady from hell. This lunch lady was your classic grumpy old woman. Hairnet, gloves, stained apron, and she seemed to hate children. I hate children? She never smiled. She was always in a horrible mood. Well, one day this kid in the lunch line says something to her that makes her flip out. Next, is this meat even real? The whole lunch line starts laughing at her. And then another kid goes, yeah, is it even real? Also, you're the worst lunch lady ever. Even Mrs. Johnson's rabbits hate you. Now, a little sidebar here. Mrs. Johnson was the art teacher, and she had a cage of like 4 rabbits. They would sit outside her door in the hallway, and the school loved these rabbits. These rabbits were cherished. They were lovely little rabbits. Well, the lunch lady didn't like hearing this. Quit laughing at me. This is funny to you. You're gonna regret this. Oh, you're gonna regret this. So lunch ends, and later that day, this teacher was walking the hallways when she notices the lunch lady standing by the rabbit cage. Scrap-a-dink-a-dee. What is she doing? She's wearing her rubber gloves. She has a strange bag, and she's putting the rabbits in this bag. 1 rabbit, 2 rabbits, 3 rabbits, 4. Now I'm gonna throw you all on the floor. Okay, she didn't make that little rhyme, but still, she was putting these rabbits in a bag and she was gonna do something horrible with them. Well, the teacher said, hey, put those down. Security, the lunch lady's taking the rabbits. Security shows up, takes these rabbits and puts them back in the cage. They then drag her to the office and they send her home forever. After that day, the rabbits stayed inside Mrs. Johnson's classroom for safety. I wonder what she was gonna do to the rabbits. That's insane. The legendary substitute. It was last period, 90 minutes long, and this class's teacher was out for 2 days, so a sub came in to cover both. The first thing he said when he came in was this: all right, students, this class is different. You will decide what we do tomorrow yourselves. Whatever you all agree on unanimously, I will make happen. And the class starts whispering, wait, like anything? Anything, but every single one of you has to agree on it. So for the next hour and a half, the entire class was working like a group project. They debated, argued, bargained, and by the end, they had a full plan. The first 15 minutes, they wanted music playing and they wanted snacks. Then, a movie of their choice. They chose Shrek 2. And with the movie, they wanted soda and pizza. And not like 1 slice each. They wanted enough pizza so everyone could get stuffed. And the sub just nodded. All right, tomorrow, it's done. And the next day, the classroom was a frickin' vibe. Pizza boxes stacked high, music, Shrek 2, kids with food comas in every desk. It was the only time the entire class agreed on something, and it was the last time that sub ever taught at that school.
Mrs. Johnson is intense. Every day after school, Mrs. Johnson's car would be waiting in the pickup line. Silver minivan, country music, air freshener shaped like a cowboy boot. She drove the same 3 kids home every afternoon, but she had one rule. Before you got in the car, you had to say, thanks for the ride, Mrs. Johnson. Then before you got out, thanks for the ride, Mrs. Johnson. Same thing every single day. And if you forgot, you were screwed. On Tuesday, one of the kids, Evan, was running late. His backpack half zipped, sprinting to catch the minivan before it left. He yanks the door open and slides into the seat. But he forgot something. What did you forget? Nothing. Everything's here. I'm good to go. Try again. Thanks for the ride, Mrs. Johnson. Too late. Out of the car. No, please. My parents are both at work. I have no one to take me home. Out of the car. No. He steps out and she drives off. By the time this kid's mom picks him up, it's an hour and a half later, and the sun's beginning to set. That next morning, Mrs. Johnson picks Evan up at his house. And this time, he doesn't forget. Thanks for the ride, Mrs. Johnson. See? That wasn't so hard, was it?
They lost him during a thunderstorm. The backyard gate swung open and their dog was gone. For weeks, they searched. They put up posters everywhere. They called different shelters. Nothing. Then one afternoon, they're driving home. Daughter sees something. Mom, that's Milo. Same golden fur, same curled tail, except a new collar. They pull over and they walk up to the door. Milo! His name's actually Charlie. He's cute though, huh? Feel free to pet him. Mom, do something. Where did you find him? Oh, we picked him up from the shelter. He was soaking wet, it was raining. We took him home. That's our dog. He was chipped. He wasn't chipped, and that's our dog. The girl kneels down. Milo, come here. See? He knows his name. Charlie, come here. But Milo didn't come. He was so happy to see his real owners. Quick, get Milo in the car. We're leaving now. Hey, wait. And they took the dog and they sped away. Honestly, I would have done the same thing. That's my freaking dog. That dude was seriously trying to keep him. That's messed up. There was this kid named Silas who hadn't spoken since the 6th grade. Silas went 3 years without making a sound, until he ended up in Mr. Garrett's algebra class. I'm Mr. Garrett. Now, Mr. Garrett was a notorious power trip, loved picking on kids for no reason. Well, that particular day, he was really laying into this kid named Leo. Well, are you stupid, Leo? I asked you for the answer 10 minutes ago. Stand up. Sit down. Now, Leo was a freshman, and he had a stutter. And on that day, he was clearly on the verge of a full-blown panic attack. Teacher was being ruthless, and the class was silent as well. They were like, this is super uncomfortable. Teacher's still laying into him. How did you even get through middle school? You are the dumbest student I've had in years. Well, that's when the class heard a scrape, like someone's chair being pushed out. It's Silas. He's standing up now. Silas, sit back down. This does not involve you. Silas didn't sit down. He walked right to the front of the room. He stood between the teacher and the kid, and he spoke for the first time in 3 years. He's not the one who's stupid, Mr. Garrett. A good teacher doesn't need to bully a 15-year-old to feel powerful. So there's something weird about you. Mr. Garrett was so stunned because this kid hadn't spoken all year that he just sat down, stunned in his seat. Silas never spoke at school again for the rest of the year. He didn't have to, because everyone already knew.
She liked this boy in her art class. Hi. Hey. The kid was quiet, he was funny, he drew comics in his sketchbook. Well, through a few of her friends, she found out that he lived a couple blocks away from her. Now, she was determined to get closer to this guy. She wanted to do something memorable. So one night at 4 a.m., she sneaks out of her house. She's barefoot, she's in a hoodie, and she's carrying a bag of garbage. She walks 3 blocks to this kid's house. Her heart is pounding. She really wants him to like her back. When she gets there, she takes the garbage bag and she dumps all of the garbage all over his lawn. She then rings the doorbell and sprints home. The next day in class, she overhears this kid talking. Hey, did anything weird happen to anybody else last night? No, why? Somebody dumped garbage all over my lawn at 4 a.m. and then rang my doorbell and ran away. And this was her chance. That was me. Oh, okay. Thanks. Of course. And he didn't talk to her for months after that. Why did she think that would work? That's absolutely insane.
There was this girl on the swim team named Maddie. Hey! And Maddie hated swim practice more than anybody alive. Because every day after school, the team had to get on this humid, disgusting bus and drive across town to the Park District pool. The bus had towels everywhere. The chlorine smell always trapped in the seats. Some kid always eating goldfish crackers for no reason. They're delicious. They're so good. Then after they get to the pool, 3 straight hours of misery would begin. Sprint laps, flip turns, the coach screaming, "Swim faster, you idiots!" People were literally throwing up after they were done. Then one day during practice, the lifeguard suddenly blows the whistle. Everybody out of the pool! Apparently, on the other half of the pool, a kid taking swim lessons pooped, and swim practice was canceled instantly. Everybody goes home, and Maddie realizes This is a life hack. So the next week, she goes to swim practice unusually happy. Hidden in her hoodie pocket is a fake plastic poop from the prank store. Halfway through practice, everyone is exhausted doing their sprints. Maddie casually swims to the deep end, drops the fake poop in, and pushes off the wall. At first, nobody notices. Then one kid surfaces and goes, "Poop! Poop!" Instantly, people begin freaking out. Everyone's climbing out of the pool. The lifeguard blows the whistle. The coach looks. Yep, that's poop. Pool gets shut down, practice gets canceled. At this point, the coach and the swim team had left, but the lifeguards, as they began to clean, they realized this is not a real poop. Nobody ever proved it was Maddie. And from that day on, if a poop showed up, they made sure to check if it was real before practice was canceled. But for that day, she got half the practice off, and she was so proud of herself. This is actually genius. There was this kid named Max in 8th grade, and he turned faking sick into a full-time business. He wasn't the popular type, but he had a knack for details. He knew every single school nurse's shift, and he knew every symptom that would get people sent home fast. One day, his buddy is stressing about a math test. "Dude, I didn't study. I'm so screwed. Give me $10 right now and I'll have you home by lunch." Okay. He hands over $10 and Max goes into his backpack and he pulls out this little clear balloon looking thing. And inside it was a very strange substance. Take this, go to class, put it in your mouth and then act sick. Walk up to the garbage can and bite down. Then spit all the stuff out into the garbage can. It's gonna taste horrible, but it'll look like you actually puked. Seriously? Trust me. It also smells like real puke, so they'll believe you. Well, he goes to class and he does exactly what Max told him to do. The teacher was like, "Oh, sweetheart, oh my God, you're sick. Oh my God, it smells like puke. Yes, you are very sick. Go to the nurse. Go home." Bingo. He goes to the nurse calls his parents, boom, he goes home, studies for the test, takes the test a day late, and he passes. Word spreads to a few select people, and Max ups his prices. $20. Each case was specialized on different ways to get them sent home. He even had package deals where he would include forged doctor's notes or heating pads to put on your forehead so it felt like you had a fever. And if people couldn't pay right away, he would help them out. They would just owe him. But then he would have runners that would go get the money from them, no matter what. It was a serious business. Eventually, the teachers found out about this, and this came crashing down horribly, and he was suspended. But for a while, he ran the craziest business that school had ever seen. And honestly, it's kind of genius. Gotta respect the hustle.
Yo, I got a shortcut.
Through there? So after school one day, this kid swears he found a shortcut home. He's pointing to this giant cornfield like, "Trust me, it's way faster." Now, a bunch of kids are skeptical. "Bro, that's not a path. That's just corn." But half the group follows him anyways. At first, it's funny. They're laughing, they're pushing through the corn stalks, they're making jokes. Then 10 minutes pass. There's no road. It seems like it's just endless corn. Wait, we passed this corn stalk already, didn't we? It's all corn, man. Trust me, just keep walking. After a bit more walking, panic does begin to kick in, and their phones aren't working. The sun's setting, you can hear coyotes in the distance. You hear that? We're gonna die. By the time they finally stumble out of the cornfield, it's dark, they're dirty, scratched up, and dehydrated. And what do they see throughout the neighborhood filling these streets? Police, firefighters, parents, everybody freaking out. Turns out, word spread fast, and when this group of kids never came home, things got crazy. "Hey, a bunch of kids never came home today. Get every unit out there right now, we gotta find them." The whole town formed a frickin' search party. And this shortcut, it added 4 hours. And the kid that had this idea never lived it down. That's insane. School prank gone seriously wrong. Or right. This was back in 1979. Somebody glued all of the locks on all of the doors in this one high school. The teachers show up. They can't open their doors. What the heck is going on? Keys won't even go in. They couldn't even get into the supply closets because those were also glued. Within 20 minutes, the whole building is in absolute chaos. Janitors are trying solvent. Teachers are trying to pick away at the glue. Students just standing around watching this all unfold. Eventually, the principal actually canceled school. School is canceled until further notice, students. Now, here's the thing. This all happened during the nicest week of the year. It was sunny, warm. Everyone wanted to be outside. So instead of being upset, obviously the students were like, all right, days off. We're going to the pool. Yabo. They were tanning, they were listening to music. Because it's the 70s, nobody can text, nobody can call, so they're calling each other. Are we still off school? Is school still canceled? Then they find out from the principal that prom is canceled until whoever did this comes forward. Still, nobody talks at first. 3 full days go by before the school actually replaces the locks. Then eventually, the kid that did this admitted to it. It was me. He gets expelled immediately. School's back in session. Prom is not canceled. But here's the thing. Nobody was mad at him. The students actually loved him for it because right before prom, they got a few days off to go to the pool and get their tans on to be tanned for prom. It was a perfect situation. And that sounds awesome. These two 12-year-olds started a lemonade stand one summer, and at first it was basic, like they had the table, the sign, they were making lemonade, and people were buying it. They spent days perfecting the recipe. They were treating it like a chemistry project. But the thing is, the lemonade was incredible. Kids, this lemonade is incredible. People on their street loved it, but business began to slow down a lot. Then one of them goes, why are we selling this stuff to a cul-de-sac of 20 people when there's a whole downtown area? Good idea, let's move shop. So one Saturday morning, they moved the entire operation downtown, middle of town square. And now they're selling BLT sandwiches. And business was absolutely booming. They're making so much money. Word spreads fast. There's lines. They're selling out. At one point, a nearby cafe owner goes, "You're putting us out of business, guys!" And the kids take that as a compliment. Okay. But then the city gets involved. Because apparently, once you start having this sort of business in a public downtown area, you need a license. Health inspectors show up. These two kids are just standing there like, we're 12. Inspector's like, doesn't matter. And the city shuts the stand down immediately for not having permits or licenses. But the kids made so much money that they got over it pretty quick. Oh, my AirPods are nasty. I can clean them for a price. This started in 7th grade. Everybody had AirPods, but nobody would clean them, except this one kid. This kid had a pencil bag full of Q-tips. I made fun of him until one day this girl's looking at her AirPods and she says, ugh, there's like gunk in here. It's disgusting. And he goes, I can clean that, $1. She laughs, but he's already pulling out his cleaning kit. Toothpick, soft cloth, Q-tip, disinfectant swab. He's wiping it down like a surgeon. There. Oh my god, they look brand new. I know. Next day during lunch, a line is forming. People are handing over cash. You do pros too? Absolutely. What about these? Bro, these are knockoffs. I'll do them for 50 cents for you. Like I said, he keeps the tools in a pencil case and he has his cleaning services during lunch. He even sprays them with a minty finish. Then the math teacher walks up. Hey boyo, I hear you're the kid that cleans the AirPods. You heard right. Can you do these? Yeah. And Mr. Johnson, for you, these are on the house. By the end of the semester, he had made $180 from this business, which is a little over 180 AirPods cleaned. And he made all this money from cotton swabbing earwax out of AirPods. You gotta respect the hustle. Picture this, first day of high school, a new teacher walks in. Cool looking guy with the mustache. He starts roll call. Billy, here. Carl, I have milk in my backpack. Steven, here. You must be the kid that still sleeps in that blue race car bed, huh? What? The kid was confused because he actually did sleep in a blue race car bed. So he started thinking that this guy's a total creep, but he forgot about it. Maybe it was a lucky guess. Well, as days go on, there were more and more things this teacher was saying. How's Rufus, Steven? Has he still got that stomach infection? How did you know that? This reminds me of when your mom was talking about the cat and when he ate the light bulb. Hey, Steven, how was that Twinkie last night? I know you snuck one from the cabinet. Was it 2 a.m.? 2 a.m. Twinkie? Kid's absolutely freaked out. The next day he's in class, scared of what he's gonna say today, when all of a sudden, his dad comes out. Hey, how we doing? Johnny. Steven, we got you. Yeah, we got you, son. What? Turns out this kid's dad and the new teacher go to the same gym, and one day they got to talking, and the dad's like, oh, you're starting at Gilchrist teaching this year, huh? Yeah, 5th grade. Oh, my son's in 5th grade. Oh, nice. What's his name? His name's Steven. He's in your class? I have a great idea. It was all an elaborate prank. Kid was definitely relieved, but he's not too happy that now all of his classmates know that he still sleeps in a blue race car bed. There's always that one kid in school that would do anything. Not for money or clout, just because. Well, at this school, there was one kid, and he would do whatever anyone dared him to do. Slap a kid with a piece of pizza? All right. Take a dump in the urinal? I got you. Stand up on a lunch table in the middle of lunch and dump a chocolate milk on his head while he's screaming? I didn't just do it, he committed. People started testing him to see where the line was. I dare you to eat this ladybug, okay? I dare you to toss a spoonful of yogurt on the principal. That's easy. Yeah, there wasn't a line. He would do anything. But here's the weird part. In class, he was completely normal. Yo, what was the homework from yesterday? Oh, it was that small package he gave us. It's actually due tomorrow, but super easy. The last question's a trick question though, so be careful. But yeah, you guys should be fine. Let me know if you have any questions. Cool. Well, he didn't have any social media, no Instagram, no TikTok, no Snapchat. So after graduation, he disappeared. Nobody has seen him or heard from him ever sense. On Monday, Mr. Davis said, "Bring a towel and wear old clothes on Friday, class." No explanation, that was it. And the rumors start instantly. "Bro, we're painting." "No, guys, we're making slime." One kid remembers seeing a package of unfilled water balloons in a Walgreens bag, sitting on Mr. Davis's desk. No, guys, listen to me. It's water balloons." That seemed like the most reasonable explanation. And kids got hyped. By Friday, everyone's ready. One kid brings a change of clothes. One kid's wearing goggles. Most of the class is in their swimsuits. They're super hyped. Well, they get in Mr. Davis's class and they walk outside. There's water balloons everywhere. Buckets full of them. And the weather's perfect. This is a dream come true. Yes. Literally a dream. Imagine a water balloon fight in the middle of school day. That's when Mr. Davis says this. "All right, class. Today, we are studying projectile motion." Huh? Each of you will take turns throwing one water balloon at that wall right there. Then we'll log your trajectory data and calculate your angles. That's it. It's an actual frickin' lesson. One by one, kids are launching water balloons at this blank wall. One kid really wanted to splash someone, so he fake stumbles and accidentally pops a balloon on one of his classmates. Oops. That felt nice. Hey, no fooling around. That's a 0 for both of you. Now, they were never promised a water balloon fight, but they built themselves up and they truly believed it. One day, randomly, this kid told his teacher, "My grandma died." "Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry to hear that." Well, that night, the teacher emails the mom. "I just wanted to say, I'm thinking of your family. Deborah was such a good woman. May she rest in peace." The mom reads it and she freezes. Wait, what? Her mother-in-law wasn't dead. She was literally at bingo that night. A few minutes later, a different mom from school calls her. We're all gonna miss her so much. She was such an incredible woman." No, I'm sorry, there must be some sort of confusion. She's not dead. By the end of the night, half of the neighborhood is sending their condolences. Everyone thinks Grandma's gone. This one family even dropped off a casserole. She then confronts her kid. Hi, did you tell everyone that Grandma died?" "Yes." "Why?" "I don't actually know." The mom then calls her mother-in-law to warn her about this entire situation. "Oh, hi, sweetie. B27. Crap. Hey, Deb, so apparently you died today?" "Oh, well, no one told me. That's good to know." G26. Bingo!
বস আপনি কিন্তু আবার রাগ করেন না বুড়ি বেড়ি বয়স হইছে মা থাকো তুমি তোমার লগে পরে কথা কইতেছি হ্যাঁ সাইকেলের চেনটা এখানে এসেই পড়ছে
ভাই ঠিক হয়ে গেছে
কিরা তো জলদি ঠিক হয়ে
কিং জানে জামশেদ চাচা খোয়ারে ধরে নিয়ে গেছে
কি কইলি জামশেদ চাচার খবরে নিয়ে গেছে মানে তাও ফকিন্নির পোলা 100 টাকা কম দিস বুঝছস তো নাম
মৌ
কি নাম
প্রিয়া
প্রিয়া
জানালায় জোড়া চোর পড়ে না
একদম পরীর মতো দেখ
কি কস সত্যি নাম কি বাড়ি কই
আচ্ছা আমি যাইতেছি
প্রিয়া
পেন্সিল ভাষা পেল কি কবিতার
ওই জামতলায় আপনার সাথে আমার মুখোমুখি সব কথা হবে, ঠিক আছে? গেলাম।
আপনাদের খোলা চুলে খুব সুন্দর লাগে একদম কাজলের মতো আর সেই জন্য সাইকেলের চেনটা এখানে এসেই পড়ছে
ভাই
কিছু হয় নাই হবেও না
হবে না তবে না কি শুরু করছে বলো তো? আপনার বন্ধু ঝন্টুর যে সাইকেলটা আছে ওই সাইকেলটা নিয়ে আমাকে একটু ঘোরাবেন?
শোনো, যারো একটু ফু দিয়ে দেই।
আচ্ছা, তোমার মধ্যে কি আমাকে হারানোর ভয় হয়?
হ্যাঁ প্রিয়া, আমি কিন্তু ধরে ফেলছি।
কি ধরে ফেলছিস?
তোদের
আমি ওই দিক যেতেছিলাম।
কি কস আবার টিভি বিসের বাড়ানছে, টাকা পাইছে কই?
আমি এগুলো কিছু জানি না চাচ্ছি, আমি যাই চাই।
আমি দেখতেছি আজকের মতো শেষ, আপনারা আগান। পড়ে না পলো সন্ধে আকাশ।
শাহরুখের ভক্তরা যে এত ভীত হয় সেটা আমি আগে বুঝতে পারি নাই। প্রেমে পড়বেন কিন্তু
মন বেলা শেষে পেন্সিল ভাষা বেলা শেষে পেন্সিল ভাষা পেল কি?
কই গেলি?
তুমি যাও তো।
আচ্ছা, তোমার প্রিয় 3টা জিনিসের নাম বলো তো।
আমার প্রিয় 3টা জিনিস সিনেমা আর শাহরুখ খান। আর তোমার?
এ বেটা, এ কিং খান কই? तुम नहीं समझोगी प्रिया।
আপনার হাতটা একটু ধরবো?
আমার হাত?
কবিতার পাতা ছুঁয়ে মন জনাকি।
আর তোমার?
হ্যাঁ বিলেতি নায়ক হইব। এই
মতো পুরো
চকটাও নষ্ট হয়ে গেছে। ঘরে চল, চকটা নষ্ট হয়ে গেছে। চল।
শোনো, তোমার এই পোলা গ্রামের 8-10টা বাদাইম্মা পোলার মতো না। আমার কিন্তু গ্রামে শুনছি, জিনিসটা আমলে রাখলাম, কইলেই তো রয়ে যায় না।
আচ্ছা এখন ওই
ভুইকা গেছে।
কি আজব না বিষয়টা?
না না, আজব হইব কেন? আপনি আমার বস।
ভাই, তুমি আজকে মনের কথাটা কয়ে